Back inside the Sheetz Convenience Store studio for today with Bruce Mitchell, Pro Wrestling Torch. Going to get some good wrestling topics on this day. First topic off the top of the head. Bruce, how are you?
Doing fine.
What's happening in school these days?
Summer's coming.
Getting close, right?
Yes, sir.
Field day today, you said?
Yes, sir.
A lot of kids running around going crazy?
Yeah.
Anybody drop out with heat exhaustion?
No. They're bulletproof. They're going to keep rolling. Teachers, that's another thing.
That's all the group at Archer Elementary?
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Mitchell with us. How about the AEW getting set to go Saturday? Now, it's going to be Saturday, right?
It's Saturday, yes.
What's going to be the medium? How are they going to be able to see it? People can watch it how?
It's on Bleacher Report, the streaming service, and then it's also on regular pay-per-view. It's available on regular pay-per-view, just like you would get all those years. You get the WWE pay-per-views before the year.
Who's going to be doing the announcing for this? Who's going to call it?
Jim Ross and Alex Marvez from Fox TV, who used to know back in the day as one of the newsletter guys.
He was with Dave Meltzer, right?
Yeah, so he's I remember hanging out with him in Florida back in '91 for a couple pay-per-views.
What's going to be the venue? What's the actual location? Las Vegas, Nevada, but where? And how many does this place seat? Have they sold it out? What about all that?
It's sold out.
What building is it? Not the Thomas Mack Arena Center. I
think it's Tom. I forgot. You can look it up. Tell you the truth, I forgot.
We'll find that out later.
Yeah.
How about give me this? Going to that event on AEW, big Saturday event, sold out, going to be on pay-per-view. Who are your top 10 wrestlers for AEW going into this event? These guys, they need to be on the card for Saturday. Who are your top 10 going in that they're going to be showing us this Saturday? Who's the top 10 guys AEW right now?
Well, I mean, it's going to be, you've got the first ever battle between Chris Jericho, who's turned into kind of the Terry Funk of his generation, the guy that reinvents himself. Now he's reinvented himself as a major heel and a major stopgap in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now with AEW, and their first really big, the first big announcement was the first big signing of Chris Jericho wrestling Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega, for a lot of folks, the biggest star in professional wrestling outside of WWE, and since it's outside of WWE, in some ways it makes him the biggest star there. So that's really exciting. That's a big. So
would you list Kenny Omega as number one among your top 10?
I would. Yeah, those two top 10. And that's the main event. You got to look at the Young Bucks and Phoenix and Pentagon. Young Bucks having a match with just this excellent team and a team that the Bucks are going to be. You have to, on this first show with that team, they're going to have to be more than just a super kick party or a kind of an ironic.
That's Phoenix and Pentagon. Are they also the Lucha Brothers and MLW? Is that the same crew? Yeah. They also wrestle Impact. Those guys. Okay. So, pretty well known already then.
Yes, so that's quite the that should be quite the match. And then what may very well be a guy that came out of Garringer High School in Charlotte, North Carolina, Dustin Runnels, his last match of his career. Around here, we saw him from Florida Championship Wrestling come to it with his dad in the early '90s to World Championship Wrestling, and the Gold Dust years and all the things that all the ups and the downs, and it turned into one of the most respected veterans in the business. And it may not be his last match against his brother.
Is he kind of grudge going in between these two guys? Any build up prior, or is he build up any of the matches at all? Omega and Jericho, I'm sure it is. What about this one?
I think this is going to be a successful show. I think it's going to have a good buy rate. They've already sold out. I think there's a lot of eyes on it for curiosity's sake. But as far as building up tension in these programs, they haven't done a good job. I mean, they have not. I mean, they've had a few.
Would have been a great Hangman Page versus Bagwell. That's off the chart, right? That's gone,
that's
right?
Off the chart for for booking reasons, which may or may not be a good thing. But yeah, and so that's off the chart. And so I think that I think that the build up hasn't been. It's been more a celebration of the first AEW show, and then just kind of
brand new
boys
company
hanging out, kind of being the elite.
So they could have done a better job of getting this promoted before they came in.
I think so. I think they even with the platforms they have, you still cut promos on Facebook. You still cut promos and go up on.
You still got the internet
go
show
up on Twitter and they can go up.
They've got the little show
Instagram,
they do, the Unboxed show. What's it called again?
Being the elite. And they haven't really used that to in that traditional promo way of getting the heat going, the emotions going to watch a fight. And so I think they've missed a little bit with that. The real test is going to come in October when the television show starts on TNT.
They've got more pay-per-views before then, though, right? They've got one scheduled Jacksonville maybe before then.
Yeah, I think they've got Jacksonville, and then around that, I think before that too in Chicago. So,
gotcha. So you got your top 8, I think, by the numbers we counted so far. Who are your other 2 members of the top 10 as far as their talent goes going into Saturday? It would have been Hangman Page, I'm sure.
Well, yeah.
Now, who's he going to wrestle? What's going to happen there? You got to tell us. Who's he going to wrestle?
I don't know. And there have been some
indications
that they had somebody special for that coming in. And, of course, the name that's floating out there, that's going to float out there until we land somewhere.
CM Punk?
Is, no, it's not CM Punk. It's
John Moxley?
It's John Moxley, yes. And, does John Moxley show up at this show? Is he, and then he becomes part of AEW? Or does he, or they have him and they're going to wait until October to debut him on the debut TNT show? Or does he not? Or do they not have it? Or that's up in the air. But he's what they used to call hot. I guess. I mean, he's what
is his no compete clause over with now?
Yes, he can do what he wants to.
Is he going as John Moxley, Dean Ambrose?
I would think so. He did the one promo getting out of prison, very subtle, and under the name of John Moxley. And
how about this guy, Ty Dillinger? Is he a possibility?
Ty Dillinger signed with him. So Ty Dillinger, Sean Spears, the Perfect 10, Sean Spears. Expect to see him, and he's going to have to show more and do more than he did in NXT and WWE, and he has he'll get his chance to do that. So he's part of that. And so,
a lot of excitement, anyway. You slice it, right? A lot of excitement going on.
Well, I mean, it's excitement as far as looking at what ought to be
people want to see it. It's what it's going to look like,
and with a hot crowd behind it. But also,
who's going to be watching this thing? I mean, is it going to be all the WWE fans switch over to watch this? Is it going to be people who've been with WCW, have been by the wayside for years, are coming back, comeback fans, new fans? Who's going to be watching?
I don't buy the comeback fans because the comeback WCW fans, because you and I live forever, but it's been a long time, and if they're trying to do that, that's kind of a waste of time. I think it's going to be, for this to succeed, it's going to be growing the new fan base of fans that bought those Bullet Club T-shirts, that the same type of people, but exposing more potential people that are like that, and hooking them in when the television show starts. But
a lot of people have been following on the internet. These young internet fans, right?
Yeah, it's going to be. That's how a lot. Under 35 fans. I mean, you're part of this. Is social media and how they get their information, how they get their entertainment through streaming services.
And we don't listen to radio much anymore like we used to. Watch as much TV. We do check out internet.
I listen to podcasts. So.
You're the Twitter king right now. So you've tweeted about 4 or 5. You're the man on Twitter these days. You're tearing it up.
Yeah. Doing people, but
doing quite well.
Yeah. So, but still, it's but yeah, all that stuff. I mean, you get through with that. I think that they've got to keep the base that they've built, and they've got to use that to get a new audience. But they have shown that when they put product out there, when they put content out there, it draws people.
That all then had a lot of success, isn't it? Very successful.
That was really successful. This is it's a sellout in Las Vegas. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. And so how the pay-per-view does, and if that's successful, I think, and there's a lot of dissatisfaction with WWE too. Which tells you, I mean, to the point where just fans are used to being it's just kind of emotionally, like a bad relationship you can't get yourself away from. I mean, they're used to being abused and
they've had no options for the most part on the national level.
There may be an option now. So that's the big question: is it a dissatisfaction dissatisfaction with wrestling, or is it a dissatisfaction with WWE that AEW can take advantage of? And we're about to find out. And I honestly, Andy, I don't know the answer.
Where will you be watching this event? At your home or someone else's home?
I'll be watching at my house. Yeah.
How much of this do you think Vince McMahon and his staff will be watching? Vince especially, how much is he going to be watching this? Is he going to watch it all?
I can answer this for you just like dead solid. I know exactly how much he's going to be watching this. How much of this content he'll be watching. None of it.
He's not going to mess with it then?
No, he's not watching it.
Well, I know that some of his staff have to be watching this.
I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of the wrestlers will be checking out. Not only checking out the competition, but also the folks that are dissatisfied and would like to get out. If they can find a way out, or even if they can't, they're going to want to see a place where it's not as frustrating to get your ideas out creatively. And then this generation of wrestlers, unlike any other, not only are they like professional wrestlers, they are fans of professional wrestling, and they like to watch good professional wrestling. So that's where you're going to see a lot of the people in WWE watching this, a lot of the wrestlers watching this.
But Vince watches none.
I can't imagine at 73 years old he's going to be watching. Back in the day, Vince and some other folks would watch Tony Schiavone and WCW, but not so much Vince. And Vince isn't like clued in on. Vince doesn't watch other wrestling for the most part throughout his career, and so I can't imagine he'll be watching this Saturday night. I think Saturday night is the night that he doesn't work. He works until 4 in the morning.
That's his off day.
Every day. So, and then he kind of closes it out on Friday. So I don't know. I couldn't begin to imagine what it is Mr. Man does on Saturday nights.
So no Hangman Page versus Neville/Pac, and also for this weekend coming up, no Ric Flair at StarCast 2. That's kind of not a major blow, kind of a sensitive blow to them. Not having Ric Flair coming out.
It was a major blow too.
Okay, talk about it then.
There was the roast of Ric Flair, and then a panel, Jim Ross hosting Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat, looking back at that trilogy of matches they had in WCW in 1989.
So it wasn't all about Ric Flair, it was also Ricky Steamboat too.
Ricky Steamboat too, but the roast of Ric Flair was a big part of it. A lot of people, there's a lot to roast with Ric Flair. There's a lot of there's a lot of subjects you can touch on in life, and so he had the major medical emergency a year or so ago. Then he's had 2 or 3 heart procedures, and he's had appendicitis, and then he had a heart procedure scheduled for
what was scheduled last week? He was in Atlanta Hospital last week.
He was supposed to get something scheduled to be done for Friday that would be done, and then he would recover from in time to go to StarCast. But on Thursday morning he had an episode, and it was a serious episode, and so that kind of pushed everything back. And I know that I don't know exactly what's being refunded and all that kind of thing, but the StarCast 2 is on a big, a show on a big level in Las Vegas. Lots of money involved, and so there's going to be refunds and people wanting refunds for different parts of how they market that stuff. And so that was a big blow. That was no doubt.
So no events from this weekend then?
No, there's a ton of events, just not Ric.
None for Ric though.
None for Ric.
But he's got another event scheduled sometime soon. I saw on the post this week. He's going to be doing something real quickly. That's not this weekend. Is that next weekend?
No, it'd have to be some other time. He was going to spend a good part of time, and this is his son-in-law's event, so it's there's a lot on the line, and just one of those things. But
what kind of shape is he in these days?
Kind of talked about it. He's 70 years old and has a pacemaker, and he made a miraculous nature boy like recovery from what happened a year or so ago, but yeah, he's older and he lived life, balls to the wall.
Catching up with him.
And so yeah, it's caught up with him in some ways, but good. I mean, he's enjoyed himself, and you know, from everything I've heard, he's done some of the things, he's done the things he needed to do to stay alive, and so that's good. And hopefully this is another challenge to push through.
He's got a good woman with him these days too, doesn't he? She's taking good care of him.
Yeah, he does. He has Fifi,
Wendy Barlow,
Fifi, the French maid from WCW days. Wendy Barlow, and they seem to support each other and do well. He's got his daughters, he's got his sons. He's got a son, I should say, and of course, late son Reed, and he's got a son-in-law, part of that family, and that look out for him. And of course, he's as over in the sports culture as any wrestler is. So lots of people have a regard for Ric Flair.
Well, let's take that break. Come back with part 2. Bruce Mitchell, Purvis and Torch. The big weekend coming up. AEW and more to come on Greensboro Sports Radio and GreensboroSports.com. Back after